This show is made possible by Channel 3 and the Hope Center. This is our December show. Can you believe it?
Yeah, this year's went really fast.
It has just flown by. But speaking of December, our Christmas open house will be December 8th from 5 to 7 at the Hope Center. We will have pictures taken with Mr. and Mrs. Claus at no cost. The public is welcome to come. We will have cookies and punch, and we will also offer tours of the Hope Center.
And also, each child that comes and gets a picture with Santa, then they will go home with a little treat. And then we will also be sending that picture to the family once we get them developed. So it's all at no cost, and we welcome everyone in the community to come in and see Santa, and also have some nice cookies and take a tour of the Hope Center.
Well, I think that's a nice little keepsake, and I think that can be a tradition to start with your family, to come here and get a picture every year to see how the child has grown and, sit on Santa's lap. And so what are your guys' favorite traditions or...
Well, ever since Mitchell was little, he will be 9 at the end of this month, which just went really fast. I do need a minute. He's growing up. But ever since he was really little, like probably, I think we started when he was 2, he's loved the Polar Express movie. And so we take him on the Polar Express train ride here in Connersville every year. And that's our tradition. He loves Santa. And so he always looks forward to going to the North Pole and picking Santa up, and then Santa rides back to Connersville with us, and he gets to sit on Santa's lap, and he gets the little bell that the little boy on the Polar Express gets, and Mitchell usually falls asleep towards the end of the train ride because we take the latest train ride, and somehow he ends up losing the bell on the train, and Santa brings the bell to him on Christmas morning every year. And Santa leaves a note in the box and says, you forgot this on the train, and so that's our family tradition. And Santa's always brought that bell back every year, so it's a lot of fun. And Mitchell, even they have dress up at school for your favorite author or your favorite book character, and he dresses up as the little boy in the Polar Express.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's sweet. What about you, Em?
Well, I have a lot actually, but I will spare you all most of the details. But when I think of Christmas, I think of tradition and food and family. And so one of the things that I love about the Christmas tradition is there are just certain things in my family that we only make during Christmas.
Right.
It's not made any other time of the year. It's just at Christmas. And so we always decorate Christmas cutouts, like the sugar cookies. We cut those out, and I do that with my kids. As we do it as a family, but then we also do it with my husband's family, and we make it a big day doing cookies and candy. And so, and then one thing that she makes that isn't really a Christmas tradition is Mexican wedding cakes.
Oh, I love those.
I love those.
do too, and that is like so exciting for me when Christmas comes because I know there's going to be Mexican wedding cakes. And so she did give me her recipe, but I have never made them, only at Christmas. And then she makes molasses cookies. I never have ever liked molasses, but when she does these cookies, they're just something about them, and I don't know if it's the Christmas that it just is like a traditional, this is just what you do, or if my taste buds have changed, whatever. But and then my mom makes Buckeyes. And only at Christmas are the Buckeyes, and so she's kind of the queen of the Buckeyes. And so we look forward to when we go to her house, we know that we can expect those as well as, some other yummy treats. But for my family, just my family, we used to live out of state, and we had for a very long time. So when my kids were young, Santa Claus would always come early because Christmas happened here in Indiana. And so whatever day they got out of school, and depending on the timing, Christmas Eve would be that day. And so we had to make it special. We had the same dinner, which is they love ham and pineapple. And so I bake a ham with pineapple and do mashed potatoes and green beans. And, you know, we have all of this little treats. And then we have Christmas sugar cookies that we've decorated for dessert. And then we watch A Christmas Story with Ralphie and Randy.
I like that
And so that's our tradition. So now that we're back in Indiana, Christmas happens on Christmas, but we still hold our tradition. So since we're all out of school and off work the week of Christmas, then the day before Christmas Eve is usually our traditional ham and pineapple and Christmas Story, and get us all ready for, you know, the event of family time with Christmas.
I like that.
Yeah.
I wonder if your kids will continue that with their kids.
I
You know,
would
having-
hope that they did. I mean, they
Yeah.
really enjoy it. If I don't mention, you know, our Christmas Eve tradition, we are having ham and pineapple, right? We
Yeah.
are going to watch our movie, you know, and of course we are. And then all day on Christmas Eve, like starting at 7 o'clock all through Christmas Day, they play A Christmas Story on one of the TV channels. And so that's usually always playing in the background. And it's
Yeah.
just kind of our family
Right.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think it's really the promise of the season. You know, I love the lights. Your home can feel really cozy and just something festive and different. But our family tradition is when the kids were little, I would give them a bath and put them in their cozy little footed PJs, you know, and pop some popcorn and have hot chocolate. And we would drive around and look at Christmas lights. Now that they're 12 and 15, nobody's in their pajamas. That's weird. But we still have popcorn and hot chocolate, and we drive around and look at lights. And, you know, it's just something that we've done, and they look forward to it. And they get to each have their own bowl of popcorn and their hot chocolate. And
I think
they
that's
enjoy
special that they still like doing that.
Yeah.
I remember doing things like that as a kid, going to Indianapolis and seeing the Circle of Lights. And then there was a lady down in Orange who used to always decorate her pond and her house, and it was so beautiful. We would always drive. That was one of our traditions for me as a kid, but you can't, she doesn't decorate anymore, so we don't go see that. So
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that
Yeah.
they're still enjoying it, and hopefully they'll carry that tradition on with their children.
Right. And you know, I take comfort in it's still cool to hang out with mom and dad and go look at Christmas lights,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
12 and 15. So, so yeah, I mean, it's just those little things. I mean, I think the reason that we're sharing these ideas with you is just so you can borrow our ideas. We're cool with that.
Absolutely.
Just to make those memories with your family and start your own traditions if your kids are little. Or, you know, our Christmas Eve tradition started out of, we would always go to my husband's dad's house for Christmas Eve. And then when he passed, our kids were little. And so we had to come up with a new tradition. They were really little, so they really don't remember going to Papa Don's house. But so we came up with that, and we've done that ever since. And so if you lost a family member and you need a new tradition, feel free to borrow ours.
Something we did when we were little is at the church where I grew up, we had a live nativity. And so we all participated as a family. We would go participate in the live nativity, and we'd stand out and we'd be an angel. I think a year I was Mary and my dad was Joseph. And and so we did the live nativity at their church. Well, that's still going on. And now my son participates in it.
Oh, that's neat.
And then we drive over and we watch him and we get to see him in the live nativity. And that's just such a neat experience because it's so silent. And they have the animals out there, and they have the angels and Mary and Joseph and the wise men, and they're playing, you know, Christmas music, and it's just so neat to just sit there and quiet and just remember the story of when Jesus was born, and just kind of visualize it and picture it like it was, you know, like it's now, and so that's a really neat tradition, and it's neat to see that that's continuing because now Mitchell likes to stand out in it.
I didn't know they even had live nativity participation still, so that's really neat to know. I'll have to
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah, it's over in Decatur County, but that's not very
not too
far
far.
away. So, New Point Christian Church, they do it over there, and it's really a neat experience. And they do it right before Christmas. The I think it's 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, and every year, and they stand out for 3 hours, and it's just really, really cool.
And I don't really mind the drive because if you're making memories with your kids, it's worth the investment of time.
Oh yeah, and we look at
travel.
Christmas lights on our way, on our drive over and our
make
drive
a day of
back.
it.
We stop and look at Christmas lights and go out to dinner, and so that's another tradition that we do, and it's just something neat.
So we've been talking about our wonderful Christmas experiences, but for some, Christmas isn't always the most wonderful time of the year. Some have lost family members, or they're facing illness, or they just are alone.
Yeah.
Some people just don't have much family left, or family in this area.
Yeah. Well, and I lost my stepdad in May of this year, so I'm a little worried about my mom. This will be her first Christmas in 30 plus years without him, so that'll be like finding her new normal. Of course, she'll be with us and we'll keep her busy, but it's still different. But connecting with the church can help. Attending a Christmas service, or maybe serving at a soup kitchen kind of takes your mind off. Kind of like we talked about in last month's show about gratitude and being thankful, and getting out there and seeing that, the picture is bigger than your little spot in the world right here.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps take the focus off of you and your loneliness. And so.
Yeah, and remember, whatever your circumstances, and Christmas and the holiday season is supposed to be about the birth of Jesus and remembering Jesus, and I think sometimes we forget about that. But it also is a sad time if you've lost loved ones. But celebrating Jesus brings us hope, and that's why I love our name at the Hope Center. But celebrating this time of year reminds us the birth of Jesus, and that he was placed here on this earth for us to provide us hope, so that we can one day live again with him. And so look, I hope that everyone out there and for us, that we remember that Jesus is the true reason for this time of year and this season that we celebrate.
January is coming up, and we want to let everyone know that January is Sanctity of Life Month, and so this means that baby bottles will be going out to churches and restaurants in our area, so keep a look for those.
Yeah, it's always exciting to go into a restaurant and see the baby bottle out on the cash wrap or
Right.
whatever. And last year we had just right under 30 churches and organizations collecting change.
Wow.
So we appreciate their partnership.
Definitely.
That gives us a boost of hope to realize that we have that much backing and
Yeah.
support.
Yes.
Yeah, and if there's anyone out there that doesn't receive a baby bottle, you're welcome to stop in to the Hope Center and pick one up if you'd like to help raise money for Sanctity of Life in January. We have extra bottles, and so you can stop and pick one up, and it's really neat to participate with your kids too, and it really doesn't take a lot of money. You just empty your change at the end of the day, or have your kids do some extra chores around the house, and then have them throw some of their change into that jar, and every little bit helps for Sanctity of Life. And so if you'd like a bottle and you're not sure where to get one, you can always call the Hope Center.
Well, and our motto is hope can change everything. So, we'll fill those bottles up with change and we'll impact some lives.
So coming up next, we will be in our Hope Kitchen making some yummy Christmas treats. I'm excited.
Yep.
The Hope Center is in need of volunteers. Some areas of need are housekeeping, volunteer nurses, advocates, and Cradles Child Care. If there's a particular area of the center that touches your heart, that's where you could donate your time, talent, and treasure. If you are interested in volunteering at the center, please call 825-1244 or visit our website at hopecenterconnorsville.com and click on Get Involved.
Hey, welcome to our kitchen set. I'm so excited because Christmas is an exciting time of the year where you can do fun little crafts or treats with your kids, and you can get them in there and do different things that you don't normally do throughout the year. And so today, the three of us have come together, and we're going to do some exciting treats that you can do with your kids. And I'm going to start us off. And so today I'm going to make Christmas ornaments, and these are very inexpensive ornaments. I got my box of clear glass ornaments from Meijer, but I think you can get them from any department store or grocery store or whatever. And they come in a box, and they're clear, they're just glass. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fill it with Pledge glass cleaner. They also make like a glue that's specific to do this project with, but the Pledge cleaner is actually a little bit cheaper, and it goes a long way. And so I'm going to fill the glass ball with the cleaner, and you can just put maybe a tablespoon in, and then you're going to roll it around the entire ball. Make sure you coat the entire thing, and get every bit, because when you put the glitter in, you're going to want to make sure that every part of the ball is covered so that the glitter sticks. And you will have excess liquid in there, and so you'll just want to have a cup nearby to dump it out in. And then you can get any colors of glitter that you want. I just chose green and red for today for Christmas. And you dump in maybe about another tablespoonful of glitter. And then I always put the lid back on. And then you're just going to mix it around.
That is so cool.
The entire ball. And voila, it sticks to it, and you have a really pretty red ornament.
Homemade.
Homemade, right.
Homemade. And your kids, this is very easy. You might want to do the liquid part, the Pledge. You might want to do that, but they can fill the glitter. I mean, just put a towel down or something down so it doesn't get everywhere. And you can do different colors. You can stripe it with, red and green or whatever. And then I always get ribbon, just whatever color ribbon you want. I chose silver for today. And you're going to put it through the loop at the top so that you have a ribbon to be able to hang it on the Christmas tree with. And these are great gifts, like if you want to do inexpensive gifts for your family. These are things that your kids could make, or you could make yourself, and then you can give each one of your family members an ornament to hang on their tree. I know with we talk about traditions, and we always try and get an ornament every year for Christmas, and with a year on it. But sometimes the ornaments can get really expensive.
Yeah.
And so you can do the same thing. You make your own ornament. It's homemade. And then you can write Merry Christmas. You can write Merry Christmas and your child's name and the year. And so I'm just going to write Merry Christmas on here. And you can get, this is a metallic marker, and it's permanent. So it will not wash off. And you can get any of these markers at your local store.
What I like about personalizing is my kids are Jaden and Jensen, and I can't find their names on anything.
I have the same problem.
Yeah, and so especially Jensen, I can't find her name on anything, and Jaden, they always want to put a Y in it. So, you can just personalize it with the proper spelling, and then,
Yeah.
My daughter's name is spelled with a Y instead of an I, and so you cannot find that anywhere. And then my son is a C and not an X. So it's
something else you can do if you have a baby. We are the Hope Center, and so we have lots of babies around. And if you want your baby to have some part in making this ornament, you can take their footprint or their fingerprints and stick them in paint, and then put that on here.
Yeah.
You can have the baby put their hands like this, and so their hands are wrapping the whole
that's sweet.
the ornament. And so I've made a few different ones. this is actually my very first one I made in 2010. So I've been making these for a long time. And then I did green as well. And so they look really pretty hanging on the Christmas tree, and all the sparkles and different colors.
This just may have to be one of our projects over Christmas break, because I try to find different things to do as a family and not just baking, but other things.
Yeah.
So I think that my kids would enjoy this and something that they could keep or maybe make for someone special that they
Yeah.
want to give. So I
Well,
think
we
we're
definitely
definitely gonna do this.
traditions, so
Yeah.
that could be a new tradition.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's a lot of fun, and you can make you can make a series of them. Like if I have an aunt who changes her Christmas tree every year, and it looks different every year, and so that can get really expensive. And so you can get a couple boxes of these, and do different colors to match your Christmas every year, and the glitter that you choose, can match the tree, the color that you choose for every year, and then you have those. So that's really cool. So I have another one that I want to make, and this one is more for gifts as well, and it's a hot cocoa in a ornament.
That was a
And
very-
so this one kind of got a little mixed up in the process of bringing it here. So we're going to make a fresh one today. And I think the easiest way to do this, I tried a funnel, but my funnel would not fit down inside the bulb. And so I just got plastic bags, and I'm going to try this here. I'm going to cut the bottom of it off and then put it in here, and let's hope that this works. And you're going to fill the ball about halfway up, I would say. Yeah.
And this might be something that the parent would want to kind of supervise and help with, and unless you just make it a tradition to help clean up.
Right, yeah, I'm making a mess. So I just got cocoa, and Hershey's cocoa. And I'm going to fill
Looks
this.
like it's working.
It makes a mess, but that's the fun of it.
Right, right. And I have seen where they have the cocoa mix and the marshmallows in the glass jars that you can give as gifts. And so that's just a different spin on the same concept, but
Right.
so much cuter.
My son's
Right.
friend last year, along the same line, she melted chocolate on a spoon, or melted chocolate and then put it on a spoon. And sometimes it was white, or it was dark chocolate or whatever, and then rolled it in candies and then wrapped it. And so they could make their own hot chocolate, or they could put it in,
With their
their
spoons.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think
Okay.
that
Good job.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So we have the hot cocoa, or the cocoa in there. And then I got, these are the cutest little things. They're little marshmallow bites. And I didn't know until I was searching for all the products, that they even made those. So I put these, you can do the same thing and cut the ends off. And then you're going to fill this. They're coming out faster than I was ready for. Maybe I should cut the ends off. And you're going to fill those in. I think the funnel did work a little bit better, but not everybody has a funnel, so.
yeah.
Well, my goodness.
We'll make it work. If
We'll
you
cut
have
the
the
end
time,
off.
you may just want to pick them up and drop
And
them
just
in.
put them in there, yeah.
Right, that might be easier too. Okay, so you're going to drop those in. And hey, that's what Christmas is all about, making
Yep.
messes, right? And then I got candy canes crushed up, and you don't have to buy them already crushed if you don't want to. You can buy them.
You didn't bring in your mallet to crush them today?
Not today, not today. This was a little bit easier, so.
Well, and it's going to be like, oh,
Hey, we get a laugh today, right?
right. It's
So-
going to be really warm the next week, I think, in the 50s or whatever. So maybe go outside and do these projects, and then you don't have so much to clean up.
Mess. So these are 2 or 3 of my daughter's favorite things. She loves peppermint, she loves marshmallows, and she loves cocoa. So I think if I showed her this, she would have a blast making gifts for her friends.
Right.
So we just may have a whole week of gift making projects.
You've inspired us.
Yes.
So now you can write hot chocolate, you can write Merry Christmas on the outside, whatever you feel like writing. And we play bingo every year with my mom's family. And there's like 30 or 40 of us. And that can get expensive buying 20 bingo gifts.
Yeah.
And so each year I try to throw in some homemade gifts too to save on cost. And so there you go. There's your little hot chocolate. And then when you're ready for it, you pour it in a cup, put some milk or water in it, and you have hot chocolate.
That's so awesome.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that with us. I'm excited to go home and make them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Jen, what do you have?
Well, I have some pretzel art. So everybody likes the sweet and salty, right?
Oh, yes.
What I have done is I went ahead, and this is the almond bark, and I went ahead and microwaved it. The recipe or the instructions to do that's on the back, and put the green food coloring in, and I just had the gel. We've talked about before that the gel is a lot
Less
easier than the
messy.
liquid. You don't
Yes.
come out with the green fingers and ruin countertops. And then to save on money, I don't necessarily always have a pipe bag, or they're very costly.
Yeah.
So I'm just cool with using the baggie that everybody has, and they don't cost a lot of money, and they're disposable. So what we're gonna do is I just cut a hole in the bag. So we're just gonna make some pretzels, and this may have already set up a little bit.
Pull the end of it out.
Yeah, we're having some
Technical difficulties.
technical difficulties.
There we go.
Yeah. So you're just you can make them as big as you want them. And the idea is that when it dries, they stick to the pretzel. And so it's just something decorative.
Well, that's a cute idea.
Yeah.
That is cute.
That one doesn't look the best. But then, you can just sprinkle it with your candies. And then I love this because it is different sprinkles that you can use. And so I just picked one today. We'll just sprinkle that on there. And so I think they're cute, right? So
Very good.
I have some samples here. I don't know if you can see all these, but it's a fun treat you can give away to different people. And then, so these are, everybody just likes to roll them in white chocolate or any kind of chocolate. But if you take the pipe bag and you just go back and forth, it kind of makes these different designs, if you will. And so you can sprinkle them with anything and jazz them up, and then even put them in a gift bag.
So I'm
see
not
those,
going to be
but-
rude, but we're going to move on to,
Yeah.
we're running out of time. So we're going to move on. And I have donuts. You can get whatever chocolate or powdered sugar, and I've got some of both. And we are going to make little snowmen and reindeer. And so as you can see, we have the pretzels for the antlers. We're just going to take a pretzel and break it like into the little Y shape. It doesn't have to be perfect here. And you put that on each side. And then take a red M&M candy and put it in for the nose. And then we have, I used sprinkles that come from just any white sprinkles, and you use gel and just dot the eye.
Super cute, super easy.
Whoops, super cute, super easy.
Yeah.
And then for the snowman, I just took a mini chocolate chips for the eyes and a orange M&M for the nose, and then I used the icing and I dotted on the little.
Well, super
Well,
cute. Now.
I think all of these are so cute,
Yeah.
and
got 'em all
that's
in.
so fun. And I hope that all of you out there can try these little cute treats with your family and this Christmas season. And thank you for joining us on Hope Happenings. Remember, hope can change everything.
Merry Christmas.